Now, the National Treasury Cabinet Secretary, Professor Njuguna Ndung'u, has directed all state corporations to immediately commence a process to cut down on expenditure that could set them make them reduce their annual budgets by up to 30%. Our circular released to government parastatals to implement austerity measures agreed upon when the president met with government agencies reads on Tuesday details a list of what needs to be cut down on, including things such as branding of merchandise such as T-shirts and notebooks, and much more. We begin our broadcast with our very own Sam Gituku.
As part of the ongoing reforms to cut on government expenditure and enhance revenue collection, the National Treasury has instructed parastatal chiefs to ensure that budgets for the next financial year, which commences on 1st of July 2024, are rationalized. This will entail cutting down the recurrent expenditure by 30%. CS Njuguna Ndung'u wants the agencies to resubmit recurrent expenditure budgets for the next financial year, reflecting not more than 70% of the current budgets on operations. They have up to 2nd of April to do so. The parastatals will not be allowed to embark on new projects without written approval from the National Treasury. For institutions that are commercial in nature, they have been directed to provide 80% of profits after tax for payments of dividends, meaning they will be paid to government to enhance revenue collection.
Those institutions that are making losses, they have no plan, they have no intention of doing anything. Please, we will shut them down. We will get the employees to go and work somewhere else. And we just stop making the losses. At least we will stop making the losses.
Regulatory authorities have been directed to remit 90% of surplus funds to the government. For parastatals that generate revenues beyond expected, they have been instructed that they shall not spend it at source. They shall also not be allowed to revise their approved expenditure budget, even if such revision is below 10% of the budget. And to cut unplanned expenditure, parastatals have been banned from funding operations and capital expenditure for ministries, departments, state corporations and agencies, an avenue that had been used by some of the parent ministries. To cut on luxuries, no parastatal shall be allowed to pay for club membership fees, whether for individual or corporate categories. CS Ndung'u further directs that payment of subsistence allowance and reimbursement for use of personal cars shall only be payable to a director who travels and spends a night away from declared residence. The National Treasury further emphasizing an earlier circular banning procurement of corporate wear and promotional merchandise, which many have been using as part of branding activities. The CS has decried failure by some of the agencies to mainstream payments and budgeting activities on the digital platforms. Professor Ndung'u wants all agencies to immediately sign up on e-Citizen platform and the Government Investments Management Information System for processing of budgets. Sam Gituku, Citizen TV.